I chose Westminster because primarily it was a small campus. I've always gone to small charter schools, or at least like private schools, when I was very young, and so I was always used to getting that close relationship with teachers. But then in my charter schools it was nice because we had close relationships among the students because we were really small classes. And so in seeing that, I knew that that was something I wanted to continue having, because I noticed that it really had enriched my learning. But also, I had never been part of such a diverse community, especially coming from Salt Lake City, Utah. I mean, we're slowly getting diverse, but we're not at all where lots of other states or countries are. So it's nice to see people who look on me teaching on campus, people who look on, like me being my friends. I hadn't really had that before, which has been a good experience for me. I would say I can share experiences and share close ties with them. But also the scholarship, I feel like really helped me, especially as a first-gen student. Like, one of your biggest worries is, how am I going to pay for college? And that's usually what your parents or what your generations before you's worry was, like, how am I going to pay for college? I just need to put food on the table. Which luckily for me, my parents had worked their whole lives to make sure that I would get an education and like advance myself. But even then, it's still a very like huge blessing to have that scholarship. For most of my college experience, I learned a lot through television. I'd say movies and TV shows. And then some here and there from like cousins, but they were in different countries, so I knew it was going to be different. I always tell people my favorite movie is Legally Blonde. I know she's a law student, but I still felt like a connection of how college would be like, and it would be totally different to me, just like it was for her. So even though I had Leah come a year before me, my sister, and start college, she's always been a person that is very, like, she's not closed off, but she doesn't really give a lot of details. So I kind of just relied on that my whole life, and still relied on that my senior year. I remember my senior year, I just kept repeating. There was this show, I think it's called Grownish. I think that was out like my first, it was either the summer I was going into college or my first semester of college. And that's what I was like, hey, this is what college is like. And in some ways it was like the show, but in a lot of ways it was very different. And then with a lot of movies, it's just different because they are not first-gen students. So it's kind of like they already knew what to expect. But even then they screwed it up because college isn't easy for anyone. So I was like, hey, I'm going to screw up. And I did, but I didn't really like go into the mindset that, yeah, I'm ready to screw up. I just thought, okay, it's good. Which kind of helped me because like everyone makes at least one mistake in their college experience, whether it's getting a failing grade or whether it's not paying your rent on time, just little things. And you learn from them. I mean, that's part of growing up. And then also Legacy. Legacy Scholars is an amazing program that I get to be a part of. And they've helped me so much. They're part of the reason why I've grown so much. I just really feel like they provide a mentorship for students that is like no other. Like, I would not be able to be where I am right now without Legacy. I would describe Legacy as being a program in which first-generation students, especially those of minoritized groups, are able to receive leadership skills, receive help academically, but also emotionally. And it's also a scholarship program, which is really nice to have that financial worry kind of lifted off your shoulders. Emotional support is very much needed, and that kind of educational background that they offer is very much needed. You don't even know how much you need Legacy until you have Legacy, which is nice.